On this anniversary of 9/11, the nation is honoring those who died in terror attacks 22 years ago. Thousands died that day as the Twin Towers came down, and many others died later from the toxic air during the search and rescue.
New tonight, Brian Mastery takes us to the ceremony at the Omaha FBI field office today.
The 3,000 names connected to flags stuck in the ground at Memorial Park hit all of us in different ways. For many, we go back to this morning 22 years ago, September 11th. It's a moment frozen in our minds once we realized America was under attack.
I was in a state of shock, struggling to comprehend the unfolding events.
For Lynn Castriano of Omaha, it meant days of uncertainty. With planes grounded, she eventually drove to New York. Her younger brother, Leonard, who was 30, worked in the World Trade Center. No one had heard from him.
My brother Leonard, as was mentioned, worked in the North Tower of the World Trade Center. That was the first building to be struck and the second building to fall. He worked at Cantor Fitzgerald, and they lost 658 of their employees. This was the most number of employees of anyone of that day. He worked on the 105th floor, and no one above the 90th floor survived.
Lynn Castriano, the one behind the Memorial Park flags, is hopeful DNA technology will one day help identify her brother's remains.
I went down there, and it had survived, and there was a retired chief there, and I said, hey, can I help? I used to be a firefighter, and he gave me some bunker gear. And I spent the day, we spent the day putting out fires, looking for victims.
During the Omaha FBI Remembrance Ceremony, Special Agent Gene Cowell shared what's been a hard story to share over the years, how he rushed to Ground Zero that day to help, and how that day shaped what he does today. Back then, he thought,
this is the United States of America. Why isn't someone stopping these planes? And of course, now I realize that, that somebody is us. Every one of us here in the FBI and law enforcement whose job to this day, 22 years later, is to stand point protecting the homeland from terrorist attack.
There was a bucket brigade, and at that time I didn't understand what that meant.
Following the FBI get-together, Lynn Castriano shared one of her brother's favorite snacks, Oreos, with those who are on the front lines protecting us today. On your side from Southwest Omaha, Brian Mastery, 6 News.